In February 1948, the location was almost the same place where Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappearance was last detected on radar in 2014, and the Strait of Malacca. This narrow stretch of sea lies between Malaysia and Indonesia, and thousands of ships pass through it every day. That day, the weather was perfectly clear. The sea was calm, and the wind was peaceful like any normal day. Several American and British ships were traveling through the area when suddenly, multiple radio operators received a strange signal. The signal came in Morse code. Morse code was an old-school communication method, but it was far more reliable than voice messages. Voice transmissions depended heavily on distance, weather conditions like fog, dust, humidity, and line of sight. Because of these obstacles, audio messages often became distorted or faded before reaching the receiver. Morse code, however, used combinations of dots and dashes that could be decoded into full English sentences. The message began with 3 dots, 3 dashes, and 3 dots again. SOS, SOS. The full translation read, SOS, SOS from steamship Ourang Medan. We request immediate assistance. Contact doctor urgently. Moments later, another message arrived. Probably second officer dead. Entire crew dead or dying. Request immediate help. After sending its coordinates, the ship transmitted one final incomplete message. I die. Then silence. Radio operators from nearby ships repeatedly tried to contact the vessel, but no response ever came. It became clear that something terrible had happened aboard the mysterious ship known as SS Ourang Medan. The closest vessel nearby was an American merchant ship called Silver Star. Its captain decided to head toward the coordinates from which the distress signal had been sent. At first, they assumed the ship was sinking or under attack. After hours of travel, the crew finally spotted the ship through binoculars. Surprisingly, the vessel looked completely intact. There was no visible damage, no signs of flooding, and it floated silently on the water. But something felt wrong. Despite being a steamship, no smoke came from its chimney. The deck showed no movement at all. A massive ship, completely silent. The captain of Silver Star used loudspeakers and horns to call out, but only the sound of ocean waves answered back. Finally, a rescue team boarded the ship. The moment they stepped inside, they noticed the atmosphere was unusually cold and eerily silent. Then they found the first body. The dead man's face was frozen in absolute terror. His eyes and mouth were wide open, as if he had witnessed something horrifying before dying. His body was stiff, with his hands stretched forward like he had tried to defend himself from something invisible. As the rescue team moved deeper into the ship, they found more bodies everywhere. The captain was dead at his post. The officers were dead on the bridge. Even the ship's dog was found dead, its body stiff and mouth open in a terrifying expression. The strangest part was that none of the bodies had any wounds. No blood, no injuries, no signs of struggle, only fear. When the team reached the radio room, they discovered the body of the radio operator who had sent the distress messages. His finger still rested on the Morse key where he had transmitted the final words. I die. The rescue team realized that something extremely abnormal had happened aboard the ship. Since the vessel itself appeared undamaged, they decided to tow it back to the nearest port for investigation. But just as they began tying ropes to the ship, smoke suddenly started rising from cargo hold number 4. At first it was light smoke, then flames erupted violently. The fire spread so quickly that the rescue team had no choice but to abandon the ship immediately. They jumped back into their boats and rushed towards Silver Star. Moments later, a massive explosion tore through the Ourang Medan. The blast scattered debris across the ocean, and within minutes, the mysterious ship sank into the depths of the sea, taking all its secrets with it. No evidence remained, only the testimonies of the Silver Star crew. Because there was almost no physical proof, many people dismissed the story as a myth. Others began creating conspiracy theories. Some researchers claimed that no official records of a ship named SS Ourang Medan ever existed. Even Lloyd's Register had no listing for the vessel. However, believers argue that this happened shortly after World War II, when many ships operated under fake names or without registration, especially those involved in illegal activities. In 1954, Dutch newspapers published articles about the incident, including interviews with people who allegedly worked on the ship before the tragedy. Some claimed the vessel was used for smuggling illegal cargo. Years later, in 2003, Central Intelligence Agency released declassified files that included a letter discussing the mystery. The writer claimed that solving the tragedy of SS Ourang Medan could explain many mysterious disappearances of ships and aircraft in the region. One of the most accepted theories suggests the ship was secretly transporting dangerous chemicals such as potassium cyanide or nitroglycerin. Experts believe that if seawater mixed with potassium cyanide, it could release highly toxic gas capable of killing people quickly through suffocation. This could explain why the body showed no physical injuries. Nitroglycerin, on the other hand, is highly explosive and unstable. If improperly stored, it can ignite on its own, possibly explaining the fire and explosion witnessed by the rescue team. Another theory connects the ship to Unit 731, the infamous Japanese military group known for conducting biological experiments during World War II. Some even believe the ship encountered something supernatural. The Silver Star crew described the atmosphere aboard the vessel as extremely heavy and unnatural. The terrified expressions on both humans and the dog led paranormal believers to think the crew may have seen something horrifying before dying. To this day, the truth behind SS Ourang Medan remains buried somewhere beneath the ocean. Whether it was toxic chemicals, illegal smuggling, secret war cargo, or something far more mysterious, nobody truly knows. The story remains one of the world's most chilling maritime mysteries, a reminder that the ocean still hides secrets humanity may never fully uncover.